There are so many differences between the House and Senate tax plans right now. Given the short time period that congressmen have, will you need to will you be forced to compromise towards the Senate tax bill, or will there be a true conference?
I truly believe there's going to be a true conference. The House has worked a number of weeks to put their plan together. There are a number of things that I know many of the people in the House like in the House plan, so we're going to have to work together, especially when it comes to permanency. I think that's a big issue, and especially when it comes to when these rates start. You know, the House plan starts immediately January 1. The Senate actually phases in, and I think those are some of the issues that are a big difference between the House and the Senate.
Hey, Congressman, when you talk about the actual phase-in for something like lowering of the corporate tax rate, what signal are you sending to markets in particular? Because it looks like the House version has moved a little bit toward where the Senate is in terms of implementation in calendar year 2019. But what signal are you sending to markets with the timetable for that? How should businesses plan?
Well, I think in the end, businesses have to be able to look at this as happening as soon as possible. So I think that's where the key is going to be when we come together. How quickly we get this rate in place, and how soon we can get businesses to understand that not only they have a lower tax rate, but it's permanent. That has to be the key. We have to give businesses, and I think in the House plan, individuals the opportunity to realize this is permanent. This is not something we're going to sunset later on either.
Not according to the Senate plan, though, and that's because of the Byrd rule. If you go to reconciliation, will it not be inevitable that they will have to sunset, especially the individual tax cuts?
Well, not based on the House rules. I mean, we have done this and pretty well scheduled it out, so we're able to keep it permanent. So hopefully we can keep that in the rules when we get through the Senate and the Byrd rule. I mean, I know that we've worked very hard to make sure we comply with the Byrd rule as well.
And you know, when all of these rules and back and forth, I mean, for folks watching outside of Washington or watching it from the boardroom, how, first and foremost, is this going to get done by the end of this year? And if not, is it going to happen in January? But secondly, for middle-class Americans, can you guarantee that folks, when they actually get their taxes, that they're going to see a lowering of their taxes?
Well, that's why the big goal is to get this effective January 1, so that next year individuals can see that tax rate cut and can plan for it, and actually maybe even change their withholdings. That has to be the real key coming January 1, and I think that's the importance of why we need to do it effective January 1.
Why is a tax plan not very popular among the public right now?
Look, taxes are complicated. I'm a businessman. I'm a CPA as well, so I understand the tax code. It becomes very difficult for individuals because they hear so much and they see so much coming on TV that they don't understand it. They hear, well, it's going to be tax cuts for the wealthy. They hear, I think.
Can you get the message across, though, before the elections next year?
Well, I'm hoping, because I do believe when they talk and they see the issues, and when it really comes out, they should be able to see that these are tax cuts. Look, that's the way it's being designed, to try and get tax cuts to middle income. That has to be done, and that's the key. I know that was a real push in the Republican House plan.
And very quickly, when we talk about trying to merge these two plans together, in particular, though, can there be an absolute guarantee, Congressman, that this is going to get done? Yes or no?
Well, I would tell you in the House, yes. The Senate already is a problem. Look, the text was just released, and prior to the text being released, you already have 7 members saying they're uncomfortable with it. I don't know how you can be uncomfortable with something you haven't even seen yet.